basketball.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to the second half of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're on 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Thus far, we've been talking with Rob and Jen Morris of Cupcakeology. And, as I tell you, we talk about everything. We talk about everything under the umbrellas of love and life. So, in our last hour, we touched on a few things about Rob and Jen as a couple and about home life and about their kids, about conflict resolution, about, living with what we call challenges and navigating life. It's all life, everybody. It's all life. And, when you have love and you have faith at the base of it, I'd like to believe that's just the best recipe ever. I don't see any way around that. So we're continuing the conversation, but in this hour, I want to get into you guys as a couple and how you began your empire, like how you started your empire. So we talked about, the beginning, the spark in the eye when you were teenagers. We talked about you guys reconnecting as young adults and then deciding, okay, yeah, you're mine. We talked about that. We talked about that moment, but I want to know, like, who said, or when did it happen, or how did it happen for you guys to say, okay, let's do this. Let's. How did Cupcakeology come about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he looked at me like, you tell that, baby.
He sure did.
You saw that, right? Yeah, so it came about just from taking it back to the kids and what he talked about in the previous segment, just about how we were homeschooling and oh no, this was even before that.
Yeah, let's talk about the job.
I'm tripping.
Talk about
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Radio.
See, time goes so fast. I am not even back then. This was over a decade ago.
Take it further back.
Wow.
So we're back to like right after we got married,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to make, good money and everything like that. Like he was on his career, fast track and everything. And here I am trying to find my way. So I started working in the mortgage industry. And then, but I didn't really see, I'm kind of like my son too. He gets it honestly. Okay. Right. He gets it honestly. Right. I don't know what letters they would classify me as, but I don't like being trapped. I don't like feeling trapped. I don't like being in a box. And I loved my work. I loved my career. I love what I did. I was in mortgage, all different parts of the mortgage, front end, back end, loan officer, mortgage broker. I sold mortgages. And so I wanted to find some type of independence. And so I got my real estate license. So I was a realtor too. But then that had its own challenges, and that still wasn't, I still was working for someone under that, real estate license. So it just wasn't enough independence for me. And then the fact that our kids were in daycare and school all day, we were somewhere else all day. And then we just come home like in the evening and then just have enough time for, dinner, bath, reading in bed like that for 5 days out. That's it. No. That's not why I became a mom. I didn't become a mom for that. So I came to him and I was like, we got to do something. Let's start something. And we came up I always had the entrepreneur spirit, right?
Okay.
We were like, okay, let's start a daycare. No, we like our kids. We don't know if we like everybody else's kids, right? To do that all day.
That's real. That's so real.
I'm just saying, so then and then we were like, let's start a restaurant. We were like, well, that's a lot, right now, because he knows that like firsthand, running a restaurant. He's like, that's a lot. You really wouldn't be around them kids, right? Running a restaurant. So we took it back to baking. And it was just like, oh yeah, this was the time where Cupcake Wars was on TV, like the very first season of Cupcake Wars. Georgetown Cupcakes, DC Cupcakes, they had their show on TV, and we're like, we can do that. We can do this. So, and we were in an area where they didn't have any type of homemade nothing. Yeah. Everything was from a box.
Yeah.
And we wasn't having that. So we got together and we're like, well, let's create some recipes. And remember that red velvet? You talk about competition, Carol.
Yeah.
That used to be my favorite, though. Red velvet used to be my favorite until that salted caramel.
You don't know what it took to get that red velvet recipe.
My God. I mean, I swear we went through about 90, 100 different variations until we got that signature Cupcakeology red velvet from the cake. And then we had to work on the frosting. Yeah. Because if we was going to do something, it was going to be right and it was going to be different.
Oh, it's right.
We was not putting nothing out there that you can go somewhere else and get to. Okay.
She said, and you meant that. And you meant that. I can vouch for that. They meant that. Okay. That's what I would always come and get. The red velvet.
Yes. And I remember one time we had just got finished like a new variation. And I'm just like, that's it. It's good. It's fine. He's like, no, babe, that's not good enough. I don't taste, what I'm running the table. What do you want to taste? I was just ready to move forward. Enough of this already.
So this is it.
But that's the key. Like, you cannot build something so incredible and long lasting until you really, really, really put the work in, and it has to be done. And so
that's a word right there.
Yeah. And that was it. And we started, giving out those cupcakes, and everybody, like, they were like falling to their knees
for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, giving away
cupcakes,
are you serious? Giving them away. And I told her I wanted to make sure that if we do something like this, that it would be lucrative.
Yeah.
So we gave them to people at her job. They started ordering them.
Yeah.
People on the block, they would be waiting for them. Mm-hmm. Then it started to get expensive.
Okay. How about that?
We're going to have to put a price on this.
Okay.
But they still were ordering. That's the thing. And that's like the fear that a lot of people have. Like, I'm going to charge for this. Like, yeah. And so we put a price to it out. It was a low price, but it was still a price. And that was kind of like validation. And then we went to this fair in Havertown, and it was big fair. And I swear it took us, because we were at home still, and it took us 24 hours to bake just 500 cupcakes. And I say just, coming from a bakery setting, but 24 hours in our one little oven, our one little stand mixer, and just us decorating and packaging. I swear we got set up, Carol, and them things went in 2.5 seconds. I was like, 24 hours of work, and they are going down.
Listen, I love that for you, but I can understand when you're like, wait a minute. But I love that for you.
And we were out of our element. There were real food people there. We were, but our stand was it was packed. And people were like, what are they selling?
And it wasn't fancy. Again, we ain't had the money to get all fancy like everybody else.
We just had a table.
We had a table. We got a little generic Vistaprint Cupcakeology sign. And I still show that picture.
Don't we all? We all love Vistaprint.
And that was good.
Okay. So we fast forward. So we everything takes off. And I mean this, we all love your cupcakes. So now here we're fiending for your cupcakes. We're following you everywhere you go, because I know I did. Once I found you, I was like, okay, wait. Oh, so they're here. I'm going there. Okay. So that's where I go.
Thank you.
So now we're all following you. And now what? What do you do? What happens then? You're yeah, you're well into it. You're well into, the business is up and running. We're all following you. We are addicted now.
Well, that's the thing. So, it wasn't glitz and glam and then the dream right away, because even though we knew how to set up an operation, it was just the lack of funding, the financial support. We went because Google tells us to go and get a small business loan. So we thought we could get a small business loan.
We got laughed at.
We called TD Bank and they came and they said,
we got laughed at.
You don't have this, that, and that. You haven't been in business for 3 years. What you think kind of funding you think you're gonna get?
Are you gonna sell us cupcakes?
No.
It was the most. I remember that feeling like it was just.
It's so deflating.
Yes.
That's extremely deflating.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, but everybody is addicted to my cupcakes. What do you mean? What do you mean?
And that's what Google said, to get a loan. So why can't I get a loan? And so we really did a lot. I mean, as you know, we started off. We didn't start off in where we ended. We started off in that office building bakery. And even the landlord laughed at us when I called him and said, we want to open up a bakery. We have a truck. And he said, do you know this is like an office building? Like I have nurses in here and doctors. I said, yes, sir. Do you have a place where you have water access and a drain? That's all we need. Don't worry about the rest.
There you have it. There you have it.
And so he rented it to us. And the townships came in and
the inspector.
This was an area where it was predominantly white.
Right.
And they looked at us and they said, I don't know what you think you're gonna do up in here. We don't want you, but we can't really turn you down. So we're gonna let you open. But he straight up told me to my face, you're not gonna get no more than 2 people in here.
It probably only lasts about a month.
Okay, so please talk to me about, or let me ask you this: what advice do you have for young couples of color starting a business? Because that's important. That's so important.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I would say is speak to people who has been there. Don't talk to anyone who hasn't done it. Try to go to somebody who's geared toward your profession or somebody who's just good at business. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Create a good circle. A great circle. If they're not in that circle, then you got to leave them to the side because they'll hold you back.
Yeah. Oh, that's so important.
Like-mindedness. My biggest advice is seek help, like he said, because a lot of us do not seek help because we're so used to doing everything on our own. We're so used to figuring it out on our own. And even if we can get a little bit, then we're okay with that. But there's so much more to get if you're receptive and open to help and to doing something that you've never done before and doing something that you don't see, even in your own circle.
Don't be afraid of no.
Don't be afraid of no. And your product is just a small part of everything.
Yes.
A very small part. Business is everything. Business is everything.
And we're so talented and we're so passionate about what we do. I mean, generationally, we're just so creative, right? But the lack of business sense is the reason why a lot of us do not build empires and go higher and do more, and it's like we settle. You don't have to settle no more. Ain't nobody stopping you now but you.
Okay. That right there was a whole word. Y'all are getting all these pearls. I hope you're putting these pearls in your pocket. You hear me? You are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're talking with Rob and Jen Morris of Cupcakeology. If you've not had any of their cupcakes, I feel sorry for you. Okay. But now I have another question about when you started. What would you say was the most challenging thing as a married couple when you first started your business?
What do you call it? Ego.
Oh yeah,
ego.
without a doubt.
I mean, because he's strong-willed, I'm strong-willed. He's strong-minded, I'm strong-minded.
Oh wow.
And we, in the very beginning, bumped heads. Like when we got into that office building and doors were open and like, you know, we were going, we bumped heads because, you know, he wanted it. He had to say, I had to say, but me too. It was like, okay, well, my word. I'll be honest. You know, it was like my word. You know, I'll be very honest. And I remember one time, do you remember that? I'm gonna tell the story.
Go ahead.
One time we were in there, and I cannot remember what we were arguing about. It was that I wanted something one way, he wanted something another way, but I'm like, this is my way because I'm the one here every day. Like he did a lot of the back end stuff. I'm like, but I'm the one that's in here every day, so it's what I say goes, and screw what you say. Total wrong mindset. Okay. And he said, I will shut this thing down and bring everything out of here. You won't have nothing.
It was hard because, I really put a lot into it. And when people come in, they say, hey, Jen, where's Jen? Is Jen here? I'm just like, wow.
Well, wait a minute.
So without his part, there would be no cupcakeology. And I did try to make people look, but they would be like, where's Jen at?
Excuse me. I got used to it and I got over it. And I love the back.
That is hilarious. She said, wait a minute. Where's Jen? Thank you, but where's Jen? Like that.
Right.
Wait a minute. This is ours. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We are the Morrises.
Yeah.
Okay. So how, tell me about your journey to the Steve Harvey show, to having Steve Harvey taste one of your cupcakes.
Ooh, yeah. I was sitting at dinner one day and I always, because we were in such a hidden place, we had to become marketing geniuses. Like we had to think so far outside the box to let people know that we were in this office building. And so one day I was sitting and eating dinner and I'm always looking for, you know, a show to be on or something to highlight our bakery. And I don't know. And I listen to him every morning. I mean, just like everybody else does.
Right.
And I said, you know what? Let me just send him an email. And I just like that, I just sent an email and I just talked about how, you know, once his lips hit my cupcake, you know, and I think I even said big lips. I really did. I think I even said big lips, but it was funny because I figured like he's a Indian and he will understand the joke, right? And I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something about his big lips eating my cupcakes. You know, and then the very next day, the producer read my letter on air, but I missed it. I missed that part. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed it. And
bacon.
She called my phone. Yup. Yup. All loud and everything. And she called my phone and she said, did you hear we read your letter on the Steve Harvey Morning Show? I said, who is that? Because I didn't expect it to happen that fast or even happen at all. I mean, how many times do you put things out and people just don't respond?
Right.
And she responded. I said, no. And then they had nephew Tommy and everybody in the background laughing.
Oh,
I was like, is this for real?
It doesn't get any better than that. It gets no better than that. Okay.
Like, oh my gosh. So they made it a point to call back later. They said we're going to call back later. And I could not wait to call him and tell him. I don't know where he was, what he was doing, why he went there.
Working.
Right.
So they called back later and they said they wanted to fly me and him out. This is when he was in Chicago. So they wanted to fly me and Rob out to Chicago to be on the talk show. And then we were also going to do an interview to be on the morning show. And that's how it happened. And then they wanted cupcakes and they wanted variety.
Oh.
So we had to pack up cupcakes. We put the frosting separate and made different colors. And we had peach Ciroc, because remember we had the bar cupcake. So we had
I do.
Peaches soaked in Ciroc in another container. Yeah. And we had the cupcakes had its own suitcase.
Okay.
To the hotel, and then we funked the suit, and we were like decorating and building cupcakes at the hotel.
That's precious cargo. Okay, listen. Okay, listen.
And, we took them on to the show, and it was a great experience.
Yeah,
and they loved. And then a couple years after that, they were ordering our sweet potato cup pies for Steve.
Yeah. Oh, I had those too. Yeah. Let me tell you something, family. I could probably tell you half of the menu that was Cakeology, because from having so many of my own and then buying them for everybody, because once you have one, you're like, okay, I gotta share this. We had, girls' nights and all, and it was like, okay, so who's getting the cupcakes? It was a staple. It was a staple.
Yeah.
Who's stopping by Cakeology because we need cupcakes? So I'm telling you, seriously, I overstand how they just jumped on every cupcake that they tasted, and especially the peach Ciroc. Yum, yum, yum. Family, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. That's 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Hey there, family, on our socials. We see you. We do see you, even in this midnight hour. Stay with us because we've got a lot more to talk about. We'll be right back.
Hey, still shopping for the new year? Or did you receive a gift card for the holidays? Either way, WURD Radio's got you covered. Visit WURDradio.com and shop at the WURD Virtual Marketplace. You can support local, small, Black-owned businesses through the marketplace and shop today. Visit WURDradio.com/marketplace or WURDworks.com/marketplace.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
What's up, y'all? It's Janae Latrice.
And Kayla J. Be sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. for
Crosswords, sharing conversations across generations, right here on WURD.
Progressive Black Talk Media.
We'll see you there.
Well, hello there, my Night Owl family members. Welcome back. You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We've been joined in tonight's show by Rob and Jen Morris, or I could say this morning's show, either or, whichever you prefer. It's all right with me. But Rob and Jen Morris are talking with us about cupcakeology. We've talked about a whole lot of things with regard to their lives together thus far. Where we left off was their journey to the Steve Harvey show. And I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Jen, I'm just going to tell you, I know it was you. You. I follow you guys on social media, as you know, because I'm always commenting and whatnot. Your videos are hilarious. You are hilarious. I said, I need a tutorial. I really do, because I'm horrible. I don't live out loud well because, from constantly like dumbing down, my personality. But anybody who knows me knows I am silly. I am the biggest kid you will ever know. I told everybody I still have crayons. I do. And jacks. Oh, yes, I do. And I do color. My coloring books. And I have jacks. And I have it all. And even this is not about me. What I would like to know, because I want to know how you got to the decision of closing the bakery. I must tell you, I was brokenhearted. But...
And we get that stare all the time, those emails, all the death threats. No.
Yeah. Did you feel the glare? Did you feel it? Did you feel it? Oh my goodness. Heavens to Murgatroyd. So please do tell us, about this journey when you guys decided and who started the conversation about.
Yeah, I think I did, because like I told you before, like I just don't like to be in the box, and I got to keep moving, right? And then but this wasn't just about, the bakery just got caught up in the crossfire. Like, we wanted a total change. Yeah. Okay. We both love to travel, explore, experience. COVID, like with everyone else, it just knocked us off our feet. It stopped our travel. We got passports for the kids. I mean, our thing was we were supposed to be in different countries and everything by now. And, and that didn't happen. But we desperately needed a change. So we, over dinner one time, and our kids are still like repairing from this, but we were just like, let's sell the house and let's go to another state. Now, we knew we couldn't go too far, right? I mean, I wanted to go far, but we couldn't go too far. But we wanted seclusion. We wanted peace. We love nature. We love just being outside and land. And we didn't have a lot of that in Pennsylvania. And then so, we said, let's just go somewhere. Let's just try like Delaware or New Jersey or something, so we put the house up for sale like that next week or that week. Yeah. Just like that. We just made this huge decision.
Wow.
We put the house up for sale, and
it's like a joke.
But then like 5 days it sold. Yeah. And then it sold. And then now we're looking at each other like, oh, this is real.
Oh, right.
Okay. So we started cleaning up the house and everything, and we started looking, and the market was going crazy. I mean, you would look at a house and go to the next one, and that last house was sold. Yeah. Right. So we found this house and I liked it, but he loved it, right? And I was
Shot me down.
You know, this is the first thing we're looking. You know, I'm moving to a whole new state. I'm gonna look at as much as I can, right? You know.
Again.
Oh my goodness.
And everything we wanted. And all the other houses, it was just, we love character. We love, you know, we wanted land, like he said. And a lot of them had, you know, the pools and stuff, but the pool was like the backyard. I'm like, that doesn't work for me, you know?
Right.
And then, so we ended up going back to that house. It was like a gym. It was like a light shining down on it from the heavens because it was still there. So it was like, okay, it's waiting for us. God put us, like, he put all these visions in our head at this right time for this right house. I mean, and everything we wanted, Carol. The land, we get lost. It's so much.
Oh wow, I love that for you.
Oh gosh, I can't even explain. Acres upon acres upon acres. And so we packed up the house and we sold it. They wanted it very quickly. We couldn't get into this house yet. We moved into a hotel. And then, so once we finally got here, I was just like, you know, I don't want to travel anymore. I really want I want something different. And at that time, because COVID was here and people were at home and they weren't working and they were with their kids and they're like, okay, I like this. I want to be home with my kids. I started baking with my kids or cooking with my kids. And I think I want to start this business. Help me. How do I start this business?
Well, you got to back that up.
Oh,
you got to back that
up. Okay.
Because when we were in probably the last 2 years of Cupcakeology, we created the Start Small and Win Big Academy. And we actually created a succession of videos that people could actually learn off of and get the most information that they need and actually open their businesses when they were done. So it started off as like a 6-month course. And we worked on this for a whole year. Got the whole package together and it sat for a year. It literally sat for a year. But I knew that my wife I can feel her, you know, and I can see her working, and, you know, she started getting carpal tunnel and, you know, just the deliveries and it was just a lot, you know, running a business is a lot and people got to understand that, you know, but being an entrepreneur is not about staying in the same place. It's about growing, right? So in 13 years, we have grown to understand that we're a little bit bigger than what we are doing here, even though that was our dream, which is why we still hold on to it, you know? So we decided that we were going to do something bigger and still keep Cupcakeology alive, which to this day, we're still cooking up things for Cupcakeology that we're not going to say yet, but we're not done.
What was that?
Yeah, so I knew that she wanted bigger, so I was willing to take that leap with her and allow her, just like I did, to open the bakery, to, you know, let all her creative juices run, which I knew they were once we moved, because I knew she was going to be like really, really itchy at getting something started, you know, and it took a while. You know, everything is any kind of business. It takes a lot of research and a lot of getting people to trust us. Again, they trust us with our food, but now they had to trust us with our product, which was education, you know, and it helped. Cupcakeology brought all of this about, you know, with people trusting us with that and seeing us for 13 years, they knew that we knew something. These guys have some kind of recipe. They know something. And, you know, she did it. She cracked the whip and it just started going just like the cupcake business, you know, and it was very lucrative, less stress-free for her, no more carpal tunnel. You know, it was just, you have to know how to level up and you have to know when to level up. If you stay in one place,
oh wow,
that's where you'll be at forever.
Oh my goodness, y'all keep dropping these pearls. Family. I hope you are picking up every single pearl they are dropping, because they each keep dropping so many. You are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We've been talking with Rob and Jen Morris about their journey together as one, together as a couple, and with regard to their business life as it applies to every business that they start and are continuing to start because their lives together are evolving. How do we find you on social media or where or website? Well, how do we find you?
The best place is our website, which is www.cupcakeologypa.com.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So you started Cupcakeology first and then started Start Small Win Big Academy.
Yes. Yeah. Like you said, we did start it. And I always forget to tell that part because
I don't forget, it was a lot of work.
Exactly.
You know how it is doing videos and editing and music, and I did all of that.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, so okay. So now, wow. I'm thinking because you talk about starting Cupcakeology and the challenges that you faced and what it took to get it up and running and then successfully running, and to a place where you were able to maintain and sustain and retain and and then you said, hold up, wait a minute, let's do something else. Who does it?
I know. Me. But that's the part, Carol, that I want to let people know it is okay to make a pivot.
Sure is.
Because you work on something for so long and people know you for that, you are evolving. So your interests evolve, your passions evolve. And God puts things on you at certain timing to do certain things. And it was a new assignment. It was a new assignment, and we understood it.
Like I said, a word every single time one of you says something. It's the whole word. We've got some sermons going on in tonight's show. Okay, if you've just tuned in, you are listening to Rob and Jen Morris of Cupcakeology and also of the Start Small Win Big Academy. Did I get that right?
Yes.
See, I'm learning. I'm getting it. So now I want to know more about how or the blueprint, I should say, for helping others, because I know it has become a part of your mission and your journey to mentor those who are aspiring, to get their businesses off the ground. What do you do? How does that work? What does that look like? If I say, okay, I want to start a business and I contact the Morrises, how does that work? What does that look like?
Yeah, well, I have a free training class that I do every Thursday evening.
You do not.
I do for 3 hours. And I love every minute of it. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said a free training class every Thursday.
Every Thursday evening.
Is it virtual?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Shut up.
Yes.
Okay, so where do we do that? Where do we join? How do we?
So on my website. So you can go on my website, and I have a tab, live events. Click on that, or on my Instagram too. Robin Jen at what is it? It doesn't matter. At Cupcakeology PA. I have two. At Cupcakeology PA, you can join there too. It's in my bio. It's the first link, and you come in there, and then I give you a high level overview of just the food industry, period. And it's our program is for bakers, but we started recently because it's for food. Really,
okay, like the food industry.
We had juice people in there, vegan people, chefs are in there. It really doesn't matter because the food industry is the food industry, and it's a whole different animal.
And at what time does the tutorial begin? What time?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It goes from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Family, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, before we go to break, listen, before we go to break, Jen, could you please repeat that?
Yes. I have a Build Your Empire training class for free, and it's live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. So you can get that link on my website or on our Instagram.
Family members, you heard that, right? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Word on Jobs. A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
For the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised in culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. beginning January 2nd, 2022, exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're on 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We're just happy to have you here with us. Those of you who are joining us on our socials, hey, y'all. We've been talking with Rob and Jen Morris of Cupcakeology and the Start Small, Win Big Academy. So before the break, we were talking about how they transitioned from one business to another and just said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what it is, and this is how it's going down. I so appreciate your story of faith, trust, support, love. I'm enjoying hearing about all of it. I mean, it just sounds like the perfect recipe, if you will. It really, really, really does. I would like to know, and if you could share with our family members, what it's like working with your spouse. Like, what tips do you have for our family members who are couples that work together?
Oh. Did I mess it up?
That was loaded, right?
It's not for everybody, If you want it to work, there's ways to make it work by respecting each other's boundaries and creating them boundaries in the beginning. Because when you start talking about a business, it's serious. You know what I mean? So there has to be boundaries, and there has to be things that's respected from the beginning and known from the beginning, and you can't deviate from that. It's
That
just
makes
like a contract. And I always think that, or I would say that, being in business as a couple, a lot of times it'll bring out a lot of problems that you have at home, and it'll bring them forth so that you can take care of them and fix them, because you never even knew that they existed, because now you're with each other more than usual. You know what I mean? So it's a lot different than being at home, going to work, coming back, didn't see each other all day, and you all lovey-dovey, versus you're with this person all day, and when you get home, you're like, get out of here! Enough is enough. Just create those boundaries. Create those boundaries in the beginning. Respect one another's opinion. You may not like it sometimes, but sometimes what you think is right isn't. And somewhere down the line, you actually find out that what she wanted or he wanted was actually the right thing to do. We're all wrong with things sometimes. And you have to be appreciative of each other. I have a mind, she has a mind. Sometimes they can combine, sometimes they can't. There's certain things and segments that my wife has to excel at on her own, because they're about Black women, and I don't have anything to do with it. So I have to step back from that. And you just got to respect each other's boundaries. That's important.
Ooh.
It's important.
Oh my goodness. That's in any relationship, right? Respecting another individual's boundaries. My goodness. What you were talking about when you said, sometimes we come together and sometimes we clash. That's so real. Again, that's in any relationship. That's familial, that's romantic, that's in any relationship. And respecting those boundaries is at the core of it all. And having that understanding that, I'm human, you're human, we process things differently, and but we can do this together. We can do this together. So what does a day look like for the two of you?
Interesting. Every day is different.
You want to start with today?
Yeah, today he came home from working all night and hopped right on here. And then you're going back to work, right?
Yeah, I work to midnight, so I work at 12 o'clock, get done 8:30. She told me ahead of time about this already, though. I love interviews like this. You know what I mean? So I was very excited to do it, and I did everything I could to stay up. And I made sure that I was ready. And in 3 more hours, I'm going back to work. But that's what we do.
You know what? I love it though. But that's when you say we. You're absolutely right. Those of us who are hustlers, who grind and who are passionate. That's what we do. You're so right about that. That's what we do. We wink and then we're like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
we get a blink in there.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely have we have a system. And I think we're so used to working our system for so long because with the homeschooling aspect, like we're literally with our kids 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We're not like COVID homeschoolers. Like we're true to the bone, old school homeschoolers.
They're listening now.
I love it. I love that though. I mean, you know, and that's another part of it too, because everything that you're saying to me, you guys do as a family. I mean, kids and all like, no, we're doing this, we're doing that, you know, this is happening. You know, but it's all done as a family. And I think that's an important part of your success as a couple and as a family too. While you both understand your individuality, you respect each other's individuality and you support each other's individuality, whether you agree with it or not. You're like, okay, look, I love you. So at the core of this all, I got you. I got your back. So I ain't feeling this right here, right now. But
it's a lot of that. It changed up so much, you know. He's like, oh, okay, we're moving on. All right.
Like, oh my goodness, so I know what that means too, because as women we are constantly, we're very fluid, we're with the wind, you know. Our thoughts are very fluid, like, oh wait, but I could do this, oh wait, but I could do it better if I do it this way. So meanwhile you've explained one way to him and he's on board and you're like, no, but we can do it better this way, and he's like, wait, what?
It's a longer time to process change.
See, that's that yin and that yang. That's the yin and the yang. But I love that. I love that about the two of you, because I mean, quite honestly, I know you've seen it. You've spoken with some couples, or you've even seen some couples, and you've felt the energy from them, and you've felt that it, you know, there's some discord. It's not necessarily pleasant or poetic, if you will. So I appreciate the two of you so much. OMG, family, heavens to Murgatroyd. You are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. You've been listening to us on either 96.1 FM or on 900 AM. And we see you family members on our socials hanging with us in the midnight hour. I am so sorry to say that wraps up today's episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I can't thank you enough for spending some time with us. I love your company, and your attention is always welcome and appreciated. I thank you, the entire WURD family, and to my alternating host, Mr. Donavan West, to the phenomenal Tiffany Bacon, and a special thank you to our phenomenal guests, Rob and Jen Morris of Cupcakeology and Start Small, Win Big Academy. Family, have a great night, okay? Have a great morning, and have a great rest of your day. You know, I think I tell you guys this every single show because I mean it. Remember that we are all in this together. So be good to those around you. Be good to you first and foremost, okay? Because if you're not good to you, you can't be any good to anybody else. So be good to you. Take care of you. But be good to those around you, because we need each other. I've had a ball talking with you, Rob, talking with you, Jen.
So did we. Thank you
Likewise.
so much.
Pleasure.
This was refreshing.
Oh my goodness. That makes me feel so good. It makes me feel, and please kiss the kids. Give the kids a kiss from me too. Listen, tell them both that I overstand, okay? Individuality, and I support, you know, because we're all individuals and we're all just trying to make it out here and figure our way out through life. Right. So, you know, as a creative, please tell them that I you know, I support them. Say, Auntie Carol got you.
Yeah.
And don't think that I did not hear you say there's some things on the horizon. Okay, technology. Yeah. You know, I can't let that go. So if by chance you like ever feel like making either, I'll take either a red velvet cupcake or the salted caramel cupcake, you just know that I'm here. I mean, you know, I have car will travel. Okay, as they say. I do have a card. I will travel to come get it. Again, just thank you guys so much. Family, make sure you join us at midnight for another edition of Love and Life on WURD.